What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today is the day where I get to feature all the brand new molds that Do It Molds launched at ICAST. It's been a long time coming, but I just got these molds in, and it's time to showcase them to you guys so that way you can decide which ones you want to get. So all these molds are available right now, so if you find one in this video that you want to go and get, make sure to go to their website through my affiliate link so that way they know that I sent you and I can get credit for any of the sales. I'm going to put that affiliate link down in the description of today's video. Do It Molds has 4 new molds to talk about. 3 of them are soft plastics, and then 1 is a lead jig mold. We have the shock shad, we have the eye shrimp, we have the method minnow, and those are our 3 soft plastics, and then we also have the EWG football shaky head mold. The mold that I'm going to talk about first is the lead mold. This is going to be the EWG football shaky head mold. This mold right here is pretty cool. I've put out a video already on my channel showing how to make some of these jigs and the hooks and everything like that, but I'm going to briefly go into it so that way you guys know what to get if you decide you want to get this mold. This mold makes up to 5 different jig heads. It's going to make a 1/4 up to 3/4 ounce. You don't need any wire forms or anything like that, and it's going to take 2/0 to 4/0 hooks. The specific sizes that this mold creates is a 3/4, a 5/8, a half, a 3/8, and a 1/4. The 3/4 takes a 4/0 hook, the 5/8 takes a 4/0, the half takes a 4/0, the 3/8 takes a 3/0, and the 1/4 takes a 2/0. This mold calls for the 10777 Victory style hook. It puts an EWG style hook into this mold, so that way it's nice and weedless without having to utilize a weed guard. Generally speaking, the most expensive part of making your own jig is the hook. And the nice thing about these Victory hooks is that they are good hooks and they are relatively inexpensive when you compare them to the other brands. So what I have right here is a finished jig. This is a completed EWG football shaky head from Do It. This is the brand new one. As you can see, it's got a built-in keeper on there, so you're not having to deal with wire forms or fumbling when you're making these. You're going to be able to just put that hook in there, pour this up, pull it out of there, move on to the next one. Another feature to take into consideration is the top of this football shaky head. It is very flat, so when you get that thing on the bottom, it's going to stand upright very, very easily, very, very well. And any kind of plastic that you have put on there, it's going to get as much action as possible because it's going to be positioning those claws, those tails, whatever, coming off of that plastic. It's going to position them up into the water, so you're going to get a ton of action. So the 3 molds that Do It Molds came out with on the soft plastic side are all in the Essential Series lineup. So that means the prices are going to be very good in comparison to other molds out there. The first one that I want to talk about is the eye shrimp. The eye shrimp is 3.75 inches, and the inside is like this. It's going to give you a nice shrimp profile, and it's going to make 2 of these at a time. The Essential Series molds, like this one with the smaller cavity counts, are very, very price friendly, and you're not going to be able to find anything very comparable out there on the market. So with the way this mold pours, with the plastic coming in from the top, we should be able to make laminate very well, which is going to be key to getting the shrimp to be as realistic as possible. So here's a completed eye shrimp right here. Cool little bait. I think you're going to be able to use it in freshwater and in the salt. For me, with I'm primarily a freshwater fisherman, I think I'm going to be able to drop shot this and still catch some of those smallmouth, largemouth spotted bass. But I think if you definitely pour this in some of those more traditional saltwater colors, you're going to be able to take advantage of those different saltwater species as well. So the next mold we're going to talk about is another Essential Series version, but it's in the extra large. So that means we get a lot of cavities. So right here we have the shock shad. This is the new Do It Mold shock shad mold. It says 4 cavities on there, but there's actually 6 cavities on top of this thing. And this is going to make for a great chatterbait trailer. This thing is built for the old chatterbait. We're going to be able to make great laminates with this guy as well. It's a 4-inch bait, so it's going to pair perfectly with all of your standard chatterbaits out there on the market. It's going to make great laminates, so that way you can get the colors dialed in as closely to those bluegills, those shads, or those brighter colors for dirty water. It's going to make all kinds of people very happy that like to make their own chatterbaits, make their own chatterbait trailers, pair them up with jackhammers and thunder crickets that are already out there on the market. But I mean, I'm talking to tackle makers, so I'm sure a lot of you guys make your own chatterbaits. So now you're going to be able to make everything from start to finish, from the chatterbait itself all the way to the soft plastic trailer. So a couple of features that I think need to be recognized when it comes to this mold right here, this bait, is the nice thin tail right here. I think it's going to allow it to get a lot of really good action out of it. And then if we spin it and we talk about the bulkiness of the head of this bait, that bulkiness is going to allow us to get a lot of hook through that plastic. It's going to allow it to stay up on the shank of that hook, and it's going to last for multiple fish as well. So I actually have a jackhammer in here in the garage. So what we're going to do is we're going to rig this guy up on a jackhammer so you guys can see the profile and how big and everything like that with this bait. So this is a regular sized jackhammer with that new shock shad, and it actually is a pretty perfect pairing right there. It goes down just past the first little ridge in here. So as this thing's going through the water, you're gonna get a nice little bit of action out of that tail. Gonna give you the vibration from that chatterbait like you're supposed to. It just was built specifically to pair up on all these chatterbaits very, very well. So if those molds weren't enough, we still have another one to talk about, and it is the method minnow. This little method minnow is 3.2 inches, and I think this one's gonna flat out catch them in multiple ways. The inside of the mold is like this. It makes 4 at a time, and I have played around with this mold, and it makes a really, really good laminate. Like very, very good. I was super impressed when I made them. I made like an electric shad color, and the separation between the top and the bottom was awesome. So right here I have a completed method minnow. It's a kind of a real slim profile, nice little bait fish profile. I think there's a few different ways that I know that I'm gonna fish it. One of them is gonna be on the jig head minnow. Here at home we have a lot of smaller bait fish, so I think putting this on a ball head and using forward-facing sonar and targeting some of those suspended fish is gonna be a key way to catch fish with this bait. I also think you're going to be able to drop shot this bait. I think, you know, using a nose hook right through the nose of this bait, it's going to get that tail to kind of just get a lot of action out there under the water, especially when those fish are very, very pressured. A subtle little presentation like this can definitely get you a few extra bites. I think you could fish this as a soft plastic jerkbait at times. A lot of times here at home, the bait fish get real, real small. So having a bait like this that mimics a bait fish very well, and it's that smaller profile, is going to be able to get some bites that some of your larger jerk baits aren't going to get. This is one of the molds that I've had for a little bit of time and been able to play with, and it makes a very good laminate as well. I made an electric shad color that came out awesome. The separation between the two colors was really good. So I can vouch that this thing makes some great laminates that are going to help you to dial in your colors and dial in the specific bait fish that you're trying to mimic very, very well. I think Do It did a great job this year with the ICAST release. They got some lead molds, and they also have some of these soft plastic molds. They got some saltwater stuff along with freshwater, so they covered all the different types of fishermen out there. So whether you want to go out there with the ice shad into the salt or take it into the freshwater, use those method minnows for that finesse fishing, or power fishing with the shock shad, or power finesse potentially with the EWG football shaky head, they kind of have you covered. So guys, every mold is unique. So as I play around with these, I'm looking forward to doing that, but I'm gonna have to learn these molds. Every mold is a little bit different. So some of them like to be poured hotter, some like to be poured cooler, some want more pressure, some want less pressure. So as I play around with them in the next week or two, stay tuned for more videos coming your way so I can get you dialed in on specifically how to go about pouring soft plastics and pouring lead baits using these molds that just came out. So I hope you guys stay tuned for those, and I hope you liked today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.